sunscreen could also be the worst thing for you. Why is hyaluronic acid such a buzzword?
We are skin types 3, 4, 5, which means we tan more. You cannot turn back the clock.
Pigmentation is the deepest and darkest concern for any Indian woman.
Sugar ages the skin.
And I see that you're recommending obviously more pharmacy skincare.
Because Indian skin cannot take so many ingredients at one go.
Which are your favorite sunscreens?
There's only a 1% difference. You may want to do a sandwich technique.
You're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah. You apply retinol and your skin starts to break out.
And what is retinol and what does it do?
Once you hit 25 is when it starts to degrade.
What is your favorite skincare trend?
So there's this term called skin cycling which went viral.
So what is that 30s skincare looking like?
Look out for SPF, look out for PA.
I am shocked, literally.
Friction. Do not overdo it.
There is so much to be.
And as I said, you don't want to use 10 things.
Peptides!
Oh my God. You don't realize that's not a safe thing to do.
But after this conversation, I feel like I might.
To apply hyaluronic acid and sit in the AC.
What is the most common skincare mistake that you see everyone making? Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, why is my skin breaking out despite all the products? Why does pigmentation never really go away? Or why does your skin seem to change its mind every season, no matter what you try? You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. Because skincare today has become more confusing than ever. Trends, influencers, miracle claims, most of us are just guessing what works. But well, today's guest, she's not guessing, she knows. I have with me India's most respected dermatologist, a globally recognized expert in aesthetic medicine, and the woman countless celebrities and public figures trust with their skin. Please welcome Dr. Jaishree Sharad, a name synonymous with credibility, science-backed skincare, and results that speak for themselves. She's here to separate the glam from the scam and give you the real, actionable steps for healthy, glowing skin. We all know that woman who has said, I don't have time for skincare. What about those? What is a minimal skincare routine, like the absolute basic that one must do?
You know, Masoom, I have always believed in less is more. So I think if you cleanse your face well in the morning, follow it up with a moisturizer, and then use a sunscreen, you are sorted for the day. Never forget your sunscreen. And if you're still in a hurry, then maybe a tinted sunscreen with a moisturizer is all you need. I was just telling somebody, just do that and then you can do your blush and lipstick and you're good. Your red lipstick on and you're good to go. At bedtime, however exhausted you are, you must remove your makeup and then use a moisturizer. And that's it. When I say a moisturizer, I don't mean just the face. I mean, you must moisturize your entire body. You know, the skin is the largest organ of the body. And you may drink tons of water, but the skin doesn't get its 100% hydration by drinking water. You need to add something on the surface and you need to moisturize. And that's why we say moisturize on a slightly damp skin.
Okay.
So that you lock the moisture within. So do it immediately after a shower or after a wash. And, you know, there is so many treatments for the face and you'll do this, that, the other as you age. But the rest of your skin will give away. So your sunscreen has to go onto your neck because your neck is an extension of your face. And it has to go onto your hands. You're always exposing and, you know, you'll be wrinkled otherwise. And your entire body. So moisturizer has to be on the body. Sunscreen has to go on all the exposed parts of the skin. And you keep it as simple as that.
Can we talk about sunscreen?
Of course.
There is so much debate.
Yeah.
And there are so many opposing opinions on. Everyone today says you have to wear sunscreen, you have to wear sunscreen. And there's a whole group of people that say sunscreen could also be the worst thing for you and be cancerous.
The cancer word. Yeah. So
tell us, you know, from an expert lens as a doctor.
I think you should make sunscreen your lifetime friend. It's very important. But what is also important is choosing the right kind of sunscreen.
Okay.
Right? So yes, there are certain, you know, ingredients like PABA, some sunscreens with a lot of fragrance, some with oxybenzone. these are ingredients which could harm the skin to a certain extent. There are a few studies, I would say, which have shown that, these ingredients have been harmful in mice, not in human beings. So maybe you should avoid them.
Hmm.
The sunscreens which have physical ingredients such as zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are very safe. These are mineral sunscreens, they are safe through pregnancy, right? So I think what you should also do is opt for a tinted sunscreen if you are somebody who is exposed to harsh lights, to UV, blue light from your laptop, blue light from your cell phones. Why? Because tinted sunscreens have iron oxide in them, and iron oxide protects you from blue light. Now, what is sunlight? It's
Hmm.
ultraviolet A, it's ultraviolet B, C, visible light, blue light, and infrared rays. So you have this wide spectrum, and our good old sunscreens were only giving you protection from UVA and UVB, right? And for Indians, Caucasian skin is different. Indian skin is completely different. We are skin types 3, 4, 5, which means we tan more, we burn less, we don't get skin cancer so much. We have a lot of melanin content in our skin, which is why our color, shades of brown. This melanin basically will protect your skin from skin cancer, from uh, premature aging, fine lines, dilated pores, all of that, that will happen
Hmm.
as a part of aging. Melanin is protecting you, and which is why you need to use a sunscreen. So use a safe one, use something which is a combination of a little chemical but more physical, and a tinted one. So it covers the entire spectrum. Otherwise, it's not just about beauty. Your skin needs protection because you can get allergies, you can get something called polymorphic like light eruptions, you can get skin cancer. So there are a lot of things.
Okay. I heard you, but break it down for me in simpler words. I am going out to buy a sunscreen for myself. What do I look for?
SPF
Okay.
between 30 and 50, which means protection from UVB. PA plus, which means protection from ultraviolet A. So if it's a triple plus, it's good. If it's a 4 plus, it's very good. If it's a 5 plus, it's excellent.
Hmm.
And we Indians need protection from UVA. So PA is very important, more than SPF. So if you
Okay.
say, oh, I am using an SPF 100, so what? An SPF 50 will give you a 96% coverage, and SPF 800 will give you a 97% coverage. There's only a 1% difference. So look out for an SPF of
Hmm. You're
30 to
blowing my mind
50.
right now.
Yeah. But a PA plus. And as I
Yes.
just mentioned, something which is like a little tinted if you are exposed to a lot of lights and laptop and, um, light within from your cell phones and television screens and
But
stuff.
tinted moisturizer is essentially foundation with, I mean, tinted sunscreen is foundation with,
SPF,
yeah?
that's makeup.
Okay.
So some of these makeup products, like your concealers and your foundations, have a little bit of sunscreen in them,
Hmm.
like about 5 SPF, 10 SPF, but that's not adequate. So you do have sunscreens now
Which are tinted.
which are tinted.
But does that mean that they will have a shade
They
of.
will have a shade.
But
So,
I hate that, personally.
mhm, mhm.
I feel like that, you know, for me personally, on a day that I'm not shooting, I cannot have any any ounce of makeup on my face. It's just a thing. Like I don't feel rested and I don't feel
Absolutely.
relaxed if I have any makeup. But I still want to put sunscreen every day.
So in that situation, you apply a gel based. So
Hmm.
if you have an oily skin type, or if you have a lot of acne, or if you have acne prone skin, you're breaking out a lot, then use a gel based or a water based sunscreen. Very, very light, very easily available. Look out for SPF, look out for PA.
Okay.
And if you have very dry skin, then you can use a
Hmm.
cream based or an oil based sunscreen. Keep it simple.
What if I'm someone who's working from home? Should I be putting sunscreen in the morning?
If you have large windows and there's a lot of daylight coming in, 70% of UVA penetrates glass. And so you still do need to wear a sunscreen. And if you are using your laptop for over 3 to 4 hours,
We
you will
all
need
are.
then you need a sunscreen, because then you're exposing yourself to blue light.
Hmm. So it needs to be a part of your
It needs to
every
be a part.
single
Yes.
day's routine.
Now, if you are outdoors for over 2 hours, you will need to wear the sunscreen again. You have to
Hmm.
reapply. But if you're indoors, that reapplication could stretch a little bit, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours.
How do you explain to moms that they need to wear sunscreen? How do you explain to anyone who is in a different age bracket that didn't grow up being told about the importance of sunscreen, didn't grow up in the era of sunscreen marketing as we know it? How do you explain to them in the most simple words that this could really impact skin health, health in general?
See, the skin is the window of your internal organs. It talks to you, it tells you about everything. And at the same time, it protects you. And so you have to protect the skin. And the first thing that you're going to do by, when I say protect the skin, is by protecting it from UVA, B, visible light, blue light.
Hmm.
And that is why the need of a sunscreen. You know, um, do not consider it as makeup or a cream or something. Just as you brush your teeth every day, the sunscreen should be that natural. You know, and as I said, you don't want to use 10 things. There are sunscreens which have moisturizers in them, and vice versa. There are moisturizers which have an SPF 30. You can use that. So there's that one product which you must use.
And do they do the
You
job
know,
if it's kind of two in one?
yeah.
They
The
do?
newer ones
Okay.
do. The newer ones do.
Which
Yeah.
are your favorite sunscreens?
Um, I like HelioCare. I like Isdin Photo Protector. The Indian ones, there is La Shield, there is UV Do, there is Eclipse. So these are the ones in India.
Hmm.
Yeah, but here it's HelioCare and Istin. These are La Roche-Posay is very good too, and Thelios. Which one do you use?
I use a Beauty of Joseon.
Oh, it's so lovely.
It
The
is?
texture is so
Yeah, the
good,
texture is fab.
and you know you can makeup just sits on it also beautifully. It doesn't cake, and the best part is it does have a good coverage of both SPF and a PA.
That
So
is exactly
it's
what my next question was.
so yeah, you're doing
Hmm.
a good job. Yeah, Beauty of Joseon's good.
Now, I actually want to take you through skincare through different ages. I mean, now there's teenagers that are really kind of diving into the world of skincare, and there's this whole sort of the whole Sephora movement with teens going out there and buying the Bum Bum cream and buying uh, all sorts of
Things.
peptides.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
But tell me, what is appropriate? What is skincare that's appropriate for a teenager? And then I'll take you through different ages as well.
Yes, I think for a teenager, I have so many of these teenagers who come with bags.
They
And
do.
then yeah, and then it opens up. It's like a Pandora box. It opens up, and then there are all these serums that are coming out of their boxes and bags. And I'm like, you know, I'm amazed. A, they know a lot. They're well read, thanks to internet and social media. And B, they are so savvy, and they want to look good. They want their skin to be glowing and radiant, and they don't want to age, so they understand all of that. But in the bargain, using so many different creams is going to either cake your skin, clog your pores, give you acne, give you
Mm.
folliculitis, give you rashes. The number of side effects that I'm seeing now post COVID has exponentially increased because of this. And so I would say for teens, please follow a holistic approach. First, focus on your diet. Very essential. So you may be doing the best skincare, but you're having a lot of sugar, you're having chocolates, you're smoking, you're not sleeping on time. It doesn't help. It
Mm.
has to be. Skincare is holistic. So that's the number one thing I tell them. Sleep regulation is very important. So telling me that, doc, I sleep at 2 and wake up at 2 doesn't work. You have to sleep, follow your circadian rhythm. Between 10 and 12 is when you need to be fast asleep. So that's another thing that is important. Some form of exercise is important, you know. And then to figure out and lead a disciplined life and probably follow some kind of a, a hobby and not stress so much. What happens? Kids are stressing a lot about their exams and their homeworks and their whatever, assignments, this, that, the other. So that has to slow down. And then comes skincare. So, skincare for them will be very basic. As I said, moisturizer, sunscreen in the day, moisturizer at night. I do not advise any kind of actives or serums for a teenager unless he or she has acne. So, if you have acne, then yes, a dermatologist will give you a salicylic acid or a retinol or an azelaic acid. But otherwise, you don't need it.
What age should one start even the use of a moisturizer? What age should that begin?
You know, as an Indian ritual, when a baby is born, we moisturize. We start moisturizing because we're applying oil,
Hmm.
right? Oil is nothing but a good moisturizer. So even if you do oiling every day, good enough. If it suits you, if it doesn't feel sticky, and you like the way, the oil is moisturizing your skin, it's enough. So you start moisturizing as early as you're a child, you know. But when it comes to sunscreens, we usually say when the kid is 1 year and above and outdoors, that is when you apply a little bit of a baby sunscreen. Baby sunscreens do not have chemicals in them. They have only physical blocks like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide.
So, would you say a 7-year-old girl should be applying moisturizer every day
Yeah,
and
why
every
not?
night?
Once a day is enough.
Once a day is enough.
A 7-year-old can still get away because, the skin is resilient, the skin is not degrading. Once you hit 25 is when it starts to degrade. You lose 1% of collagen every year from the age of 25. So the skin is very forgiving before that. You can get away. When
And
I
then it
was,
just
yes,
gets you in a
and then it
chokehold.
gets you. So as a child, when I was a child, mom used to apply malai, milk cream, that was a good moisturizer. But I was lucky I never had acne. Those who have acne will develop, more acne if you apply cream and yogurt and stuff. But otherwise, you can.
Now, let's move on to the next age bracket, which is the 20s. In the 20s, would you recommend the essential skincare routine that you spoke about earlier? Or
I
is there
think
something that we need to add on?
I think in your mid 20s you can start adding something,
Okay.
right? So if you have dry skin, you can add niacinamide in the morning. If you have acne or acne prone skin, then you add salicylic acid at night. Don't do it every day. Salicylic acid has to be applied 3 times in a week. If you have hyperpigmentation or blemishes or patchy skin, use a vitamin C serum. you know but when you use a vitamin C serum, you've got to be very careful as to what is the type of vitamin C that you're using. If you use L-ascorbic acid and you go out in the sun, it gets oxidized, the skin starts to look darker, and the efficacy goes. So if it's L-ascorbic acid, either use it at night or just apply and slather sunscreen on your face, because otherwise with light it'll get oxidized. But there are many other vitamin C formulations in the market which you can use. Do not use an oil base if you have acne, again, because vitamin C can be quite notorious at times and it can give you more acne. So stick to watery liquid formulations which are available. So that's something you can do. Now, in your late 20s is when you should start using a retinol.
Okay.
So I would say around 28, 29. That's the time that you pick a retinol. Always start with a very mild one, like a 0.1% retinol. Use it once in a week, then use it twice in a week gradually when your skin starts to adapt. Then increase it to 3 times in a week. Now, in some people, there may be purging. What is purging? You apply retinol and your skin starts to break out. You develop whiteheads, you develop blackheads. That is going to go away in about 6 weeks. That's the body's mechanism of throwing out all the waste. So do not get, worried or think, oh, this is not agreeing with me.
Hmm.
But if there's a lot of redness, if there's a lot of peeling of skin, if it's really bothering you and irritating your skin, then it's not meant for you. And in India, a lot of girls get married in their 20s, late 20s typically. It's not safe in pregnancy. So remember that. You must stop using a retinol at least 3 months before you plan to conceive.
Okay. And what is retinol and what does it do?
So, retinol is a vitamin A derivative. It's like applying a higher concentration of vitamin A
Vitamin
on your
A.
skin. And what does it do? It's a versatile ingredient. See, we give retinol as dermatologists, we've been prescribing retinol to kids who have acne, young, 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids, topical retinol, not oral. So it really reduces your oil gland activity and therefore it reduces whiteheads and blackheads. It also works on pigment cells and reduces the melanin, so it reduces hyperpigmentation. It improves the collagen reproduction. So it basically will help in regeneration of collagen and it stimulates some cells called fibroblasts. So your skin remains firm, your pores don't look more dilated,
Hmm.
and it does cause a mild exfoliation, and so it's very important to moisturize after using a retinol. And that's also a good thing, gentle exfoliation. So never overdo the retinol. Do it the right way. Start with a pea size, never more than that. Do not
Okay.
apply it in the morning because when you apply it in the day, it's not going to cause some irritation or damage your skin. The efficacy goes. So apply it at night. Another very common myth about retinol is that it thins your skin
Okay.
because people feel that it's exfoliating, and sometimes people apply so much that it causes a lot of redness, you know. And so um, they feel, oh, the skin is becoming thin, it's getting sensitive. It doesn't. It actually makes your skin thicker because it builds collagen. Now, if you use too much, anything in a larger quantity, and especially retinol, is going to be bad. So always pea size, and then just apply it in dots all over your face and gently massage. Now, when you're doing retinol, avoid the corners of your nose, avoid the corners of your lip, and avoid going too close to the eye because this is where it can cake and stay and get concentrated and cause irritation.
Hmm.
You know, so that's retinol. If you have dry skin, you may want to do a sandwich technique. So apply a moisturizer, then apply a retinol,
And
and
then a
again apply a
moisturizer.
moisturizer.
Interesting. I actually don't use retinol. But after this conversation, I feel like I
Maybe you
must.
should start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consistency helps.
Hmm.
And when you do it for about 6 months, it has to be 6 months. A lot of products will start showing you results after 3 months. Retinol takes a little longer. You won't stop using it.
Really?
Yeah.
What are some retinols that you
You know,
recommend?
I like the ROC. I just love it. I mean, I use it personally. I like Paula's Choice. Ordinary has a good retinol too, you know. And then there are some desi ones which people can use back at home. There's Cipla makes one, um, Euderma makes one, Umedix makes one. There are a couple of them which are good.
I see that you're recommending a lot of pharmacy skincare. How do you feel about pharmacy skincare versus cosmetic skincare? Do you have do you have a preference?
I believe, as a dermatologist, that the concentration of an ingredient is very important. And because the regulations for a cosmetic product are not up to the mark, we are not aware of how much of a concentration that is there on the label is actually, delivering to your skin. Recently, there was a study in Australia where 16 out of 20 sunscreens, which said SPF 50, were only delivering SPF 4 or 5. Yes, very recent, like 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yes. And so it's very essential. And so I would like to stick to, something which is not fully cosmetic but not fully pharmaceutical. it's somewhere an amalgamation. So we call them cosmeceuticals, which
Mm.
is why the La
La
Roche-Posay, the
Roche-Posay.
ROC, Paula's Choice, these kind of Sebamed is there. I'm trying to see what are the products that are available in Dubai. So, which is why I'm trying to name all of these as well.
No, India.
But
I'm
India,
pretty much. I mean, I get everything from India, so that's good
so
for me.
then I've named them all in
Yes,
India.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you told me what retinols are good to use, and is there something? Is there a percentage of concentration, or is it is there something to look for in the retinol that you use?
So when you start, you should use a retinaldehyde, a retinal ester. It's very, very safe, a 0.1%. Then when you've used it for like a couple of months, maybe 3 months, 4 months, your skin is tolerating it, move on to retinol. Then you
That's
can
how you
continue
start.
with it.
Okay.
That's how you start. And a 1% or a 0.5% retinol. The best, however, is a tretinoin, which is 0.025 or 0.05. But I wouldn't recommend it without a prescription. It's a prescription drug.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what does that do?
It does the same thing that a normal, milder one will do, but the efficacy is
A lot
10x.
more.
Yes, a lot more.
And why is this a prescription drug? Can it be misused?
So if you use a lot of it, then
Hmm.
it does cause irritation.
Okay.
Yeah. And then over that, if you're out in the sun with that kind of exfoliation, you will develop post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And sometimes, of course, a strong retinol, you keep using it and then you've conceived and you don't realize that's not a safe thing to do.
We're done with the late 20s. Now let's move to the 30s and then kind of move to premenopause and menopause. So, what is that 30s skincare looking like? There's retinol, there's moisturizer, there's a sunscreen.
Now is the time you can add a peptide to your routine,
Okay.
right? And an under eye serum.
Okay.
Now, most people ask me, do under eye serums really work?
I was just about to
You
ask
were
you
going to
that.
ask me that. Um, yes, some formulations work. Look out for some under eye serums which have vitamin C, vitamin K in them. They help. They help in preventing, they don't help in treating or curing. So, if you've already developed dark circles, if you've already developed fine lines and wrinkles, then they're not going to help. But if you start using them early, as I said, in your 30s, you could probably prevent, those fine lines and wrinkles. And most Indians, all of us have dark circles, it's a genetic trait, but at least it won't get worse, which is why you should start using an under eye serum. So, vitamin K, vitamin C, retinol, peptides. These are the things that you can look out for in your eye serum. And in your
Okay.
skin serums as well, you use whatever I've talked about, like the niacinamide and all of those. And with them, you can start a peptide. Because what is a peptide? A peptide is nothing but a protein derivative, right? And now you have very good formulations, nano formulations, which penetrate the skin much deeper. Otherwise, earlier the formulations were just reaching the top layers, the epidermis. But now you have better formulations. And they work at par with the retinol. They stimulate the collagen. They delay the degradation of collagen and elastin fibers. See, our skin has collagen and elastin fibers in the deeper layers. And that is the basic framework of your skin. It's like the foundation. And over that, everything is sitting. So if that is loose, everything sort of, the elasticity goes, the firmness goes, right? And so you need something. And as I said, after 25, if 1% collagen is degrading, you need something to keep it up. You cannot turn back the clock, but at least slow down the process.
Now let's move to the 40s.
40s need a little extra care. They need more moisturizer. Now, what happens is as we age, our skin tends to get drier because there is a hormonal imbalance. Slowly the estrogen is dipping, and estrogen is known to keep your skin hydrated. Hyaluronic acid, which is there in our skin, it's there in our bones, there in our retina. It's a humectant. What do you mean by a humectant? Something that absorbs water and swells up and retains water in the skin. So it retains 1000 times of water in the skin. So it hydrates the skin and plumps the skin. But as we age, it starts to deplete. And when it starts to deplete, it's like a flower which is withering. Your skin also tends to dry up. Therefore, you need hyaluronic acid. So this is the time when you start hyaluronic acid. You start using, a glycolic acid serum at night, which is an alpha hydroxy serum. Glycolic acid basically, or an azelaic acid, any alpha hydroxy serum, basically will prevent fine lines from forming. So this is the time you start using a glycolic, apart from all the other serums that I've mentioned before.
But I know so many women that use glycolic acid in their 30s.
Yeah, they do. It's not like a necessity.
Okay, but it's something that
You could use it. There's no harm if you use it.
okay.
But I'd rather say, okay, you need to use it in your 40s. A hyaluronic in the day and a glycolic at night. Never use a glycolic with a retinol. So you have to alternate it. Don't use it on the same day. So an AHA and a retinol will not go together. It can irritate the skin. People don't talk about menopause. Now they have started coming out of it. And
Yes.
it's a thing. It's a thing. When I started experiencing it, I started realizing, why, as it is, I have dry skin. But now, even if I apply like tons of moisturizer, it was not enough. So, me being a dermatologist realized that I need my skin barrier is becoming very weak. The lipids and fats and moisturizing factors which are there in my skin barrier, they are degrading. And so, this is the time when you start to use a ceramide based moisturizer because the skin gets dry because of the dip in estrogen. So, look
Okay.
for ceramides, look for shea butter, look for cocoa butter. You could do all the oils minus the fragrance, you know. And then, of course, the hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, retinol, all of that. So, very essential, two essential things, ceramides and hyaluronic acid.
These have to be there.
They have to be there if you're 50 plus.
In your
You know,
moisturizer or can they be in your serum?
they can be in both.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be in your serum, they can be in your moisturizer. Now, when you apply a hyaluronic acid moisturizer, you have to top it with another moisturizer. So apply it on a slightly damp skin.
Really?
Yes, yes. Because otherwise it can dehydrate you. Suppose you apply hyaluronic acid and sit in the AC. Okay? Now, hyaluronic acid is a humectant. What does it do? It takes moisture from the environment and it gives it to the skin. Now, if there is no moisture in the environment because you're sitting with the AC on, or you're sitting with a room heater, or in your very dry climate, what is it going to do? It's going to take the moisturizer from your skin, and so it will dehydrate you. And then people say, oh, but Dr. Jaishree said hyaluronic acid, or I read this somewhere. And that is why you need to lock it with a moisturizer over it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why is hyaluronic acid such a buzzword?
because it's a part of your skin. It
But
hydrates the skin.
lately it's become sort of this, it's almost become a marketing buzzword.
Yeah.
Every other moisturizer, every other product you see, the focus is all about the hyaluronic acid, higher hydration, giving your skin more hydration. I've heard so much of it.
Yeah. So, two things that hyaluronic acid does. One, it hydrates the skin, right? It plumps the skin. So, when it hydrates the skin, light falls on the skin, it reflects back, it doesn't get absorbed. So, your skin glows. Okay. Second, when the skin is well hydrated, you do not develop eczemas. As you grow older, when your skin dries up, you're more
True.
prone to allergies. You'll have rashes very easily. You'll have eczemas very easily. And therefore, you need something like hyaluronic acid. Third, hyaluronic acid has the ability to stimulate fibroblasts, which are cells which produce collagen. So it's doing three different things, and it's a part of your skin which is depleting with age. So it's something which is very naturally there. You know. Now, if you don't want to use hyaluronic acid, it's okay.
But
You
50
use some
plus, you,
other,
you
yeah,
have to.
you have to. So up to 50, any moisturizer will do. It's okay if you don't want to use it. After 50, hyaluronic and ceramides must come into the picture.
And there is a huge part of society that has become very enthusiastic about skincare. And it could be negative, it could be positive as well, right? They're just motivated by it. It's fun. It interests them. So if there's someone in their 20s who's this absolute kind of skincare buff, and he or she really enjoys it, and they're using that hyaluronic acid, it's not doing anything negative to them, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. No.
Okay. And if they're using peptides?
Not doing any harm.
Okay.
It's not really needed,
Hmm.
and especially if you have acne, you may break out a little more if it clogs your pores. But in your 20s, I wouldn't say start using all the acids,
Hmm.
the AHAs, the AHAs and BHAs, unless you have acne.
Okay.
And in your 20s, you don't need to do niacinamide, vitamin C. Doc, I do niacinamide in the morning, then I apply vitamin C, then I apply moisturizer. At night, I'm doing bakuchi oil, then I'm doing retinol, then I'm doing, peptide, then I'm applying some AHA, all that happens. I do alpha arbutin and I do, no, you do not need it. So only if you have hyperpigmentation, you need alpha arbutin, or
Hmm.
you need a niacinamide, or you need a vitamin C. And you needn't do all three. You can pick any one of the three.
When I spoke to so many women in the community, even did some research online, pigmentation is the deepest and darkest concern for any Indian woman by majority, and by a large way. What is the best way to deal with pigmentation? What skincare helps to reduce pigmentation?
Did you know that the first sign of aging in Indian skin is hyperpigmentation? It's not lines and wrinkles,
Hmm.
you know? That's the first sign. And it's also largely genetic. And it's also the fact that we are in the sun closer to the sun. The country is situated geographically like that. Um, and then, of course, there's pollution. So there's ozone and all of that, which is not helping in any way. Um, Back in the day, at least, there was clean air, there was less pollution, there was, the ozone depletion was not happening. So our grandparents and all got away with it.
Yeah.
Now, hyperpigmentation is number one. So now I'm going to tell you some 7, 8 things which will increase hyperpigmentation, and you'll
Okay.
be shocked.
Okay.
Sun, everybody knows, right? Sunlight, which is visible light, and all the UVA, UVB, light from your laptops and cell phones.
That's
Dark
not good
circles,
news.
that's not good news, because you will get dark circles over a period of time. And as Indians, we are anyway prone to, pigment. We also, if we have eczemas or allergies or anything or an injury, uh, we tend to heal with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So you get a mark. It heals and it leaves a mark in a lot of people,
Yes, yes, of course, now that you say it.
right? So one is sunlight. The second is sugar. Yes, I told you. So sugar, you know, um, ages the skin, and it also sort of increases in a lot of people. If you have insulin resistance, it creates a hormonal imbalance. And when I say sugar, I mean sugar in any form. It could be organic jaggery, too much of organic jaggery. Have it in moderation. But it could be jaggery, it could be honey. All of them will be harmful for your skin. So
Hmm.
that's the second. Um, Fragrance, right? So fragrance, especially if it is artificial fragrance, even natural to a great extent. And Indians typically, I had this male who kept coming to me. I kept giving him creams. I kept giving him, I said, okay, let's do laser, let's do peel, let's do this, that. Avoid perfume, avoid hair color. All of that happened. Just not improving. So one day, um, my housekeeper, she lit camphor. We do that so often,
Kapoor.
right? Kapoor. So, and I told her, you to take it away, don't keep it close to my room. So, and he was with me and he said, why? I said, because I have a tendency to pigment. He said, but I light it in my bedroom all day long. I said, here we go. That's why you're not improving. We stopped that, and then within 6 months, he's improved. So a lot of times the incense sticks, the kapoors, the room diffusers, fragrance will increase the pigmentation, will increase your cells,
I'm
the melanin
shocked.
content. Yes, you know, and that's a very typical Indian thing. Um, a lot of bhasmas and powders that we use, these Ayurvedic things typically, mustard oil. A lot of people are allergic to mustard oil, and that is such a common thing. Application of mustard oil. Not everybody will get it, but a lot of them are allergic and they develop this dark pigment on the face and neck. Hair dye, that has come out now. PPD, which is paraphenylene diamine, in the hair color, causes a lot of allergy and hyperpigmentation. So typically you'll see a band like that. A lot of Indian
Yes.
people have
Yes.
that forehead and then along,
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course.
Yeah. And then sometimes it goes on to the neck. And then we have a lot of them using, even Southeast Asians do, but Indians typically are not very lucky here when they use the tiger balms and the amrutanjans and the
Yeah.
headache balms. So all of that will irritate the skin and it will cause hyperpigmentation.
I am shocked, literally.
Friction. Friction. So when you keep wiping, you see these people on the streets, those who are playing, sweating, the traffic police, wiping constantly, and that friction will take off your protective layer, and then you develop post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So these are the various causes. Stress to a major extent will lead to your that factory to produce more cells, more pigment cells. So all of these things, steam sauna.
Please don't say
Yeah.
that.
So if you
I love
are,
a steam
no,
sauna.
you can do it, but don't overdo it. And if you have a family history where everybody's developing some sort of hyperpigmentation, then don't do it. So I'm not against it. I love steam and sauna too. But I won't sit there every day for like an hour, you
Yes.
know. I probably do it once in 2 weeks for about 10 minutes. So anything in moderation is fine. But if you have hyperpigmentation, these are the things you have to eliminate, you know. And yeah, that's why I said I'm going to shock you because these are things
Wow.
which they are so much a part of an Indian household, you know,
Absolutely, for
that
sure.
like an agarbatti, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
or a
yeah.
dhoop or a kapoor, these are basic. Mustard oil, basic. So all of these. And now people are also saying, okay, fine, we won't use hair color, but we'll use henna. But you don't get pure henna. They also add PPD in that. So if you're getting something which is organic, or if you actually take the leaves, and of course that makes your hair very red, there are some PPD free hair colors which are available now. So maybe you can use those. Oh, and one very important thing, loofahs and scrubs and pumice stones. So if you scrub a lot, you develop that band on your arms. It's called amyloidosis, macular amyloidosis. You also develop it on the back. It's like speckled dark, hyperpigmentation. And that happens because of constant friction with your pumice stones or loofahs. So that also should be either avoided or done in moderation.
And how does
And
one
then,
deal with this, right?
yes,
Once it's creeped in.
this is important. Now, answering your question as to what to do about it. So, a lot of these serums help, like niacinamide helps. Vitamin C is really good if you have hyperpigmentation. Alpha arbutin is another ingredient that breaks down the pigment and dissipates it. Kojic acid, again, is a very good ingredient. It's obtained from mushrooms, Japanese mushrooms. So, a very good ingredient. It's called a tyrosinase inhibitor. Even a vitamin C is a tyrosinase inhibitor. What is tyrosinase? It's an enzyme which helps to produce pigment. So, when you block that enzyme, you will not allow hyperpigmentation to occur. So, these are the ingredients which you should look out for: vitamin C, kojic acid, alpha arbutin, niacinamide.
But how do I find this in a
Now,
product?
so they're there in serums.
Okay.
So most serums, so if you go in any of these minimalist and ordinary, and then of course the more medicated ones that we talk about, they will all have, they all have alpha butene, they all have kojic acid, vitamin C, niacinamide. Now, if your pigment is a bit too high, you'll have to consult with the dermatologist. And that is when we also add an alpha hydroxy acid, you know, or sometimes a hydroquinone. Do not do hydroquinone on your own, and do not apply hydroquinone for over 3 months. It's a very potent ingredient for hyperpigmentation. You know, a lot of females get this melasma.
Yes.
It's like a butterfly, brown butterfly rash
Yes.
on the cheeks and on the nose. And it's either genetic, or it runs in the family. The mother has it, the daughter has it, the grandmother has it, everybody has it. Or it's sun induced, or it's hormonal. Typically starts during pregnancy. In some, it goes off post pregnancy. In some, it stays. Once it stays, every minute of sun exposure is going to multiply those cells, and it gets darker and darker. Impossible to treat. Once,
Really?
yes, very difficult. So it would lighten with whatever you do, but one beach holiday without adequate sun protection, the whole thing will come back. And so you've got to be very, very careful. And so all these ingredients plus hydroquinone, but hydroquinone is typically prescription based. Otherwise, I've seen a patient who back in the day when I had started practice in 2000, I prescribed hydroquinone to her. And I told her 3 months, but I did not write. Okay. I said, okay, this is the cream, use it at night. She kept using it for 2 years. And initially, of course, the entire melasma went away. After 2 years, she came back to me. She didn't realize. She said, "Ye kaam nahi kar raha hai. This cream is not working anymore." And I got the shock of my life. And I'm like, "Why are you using it?" She said, "Because you told me." So what had happened was, it develops, so you get a rebound hyperpigmentation, a condition called uchronosis. And that happened. And so she got that, mottled, violet dark, like a
Yes.
brown violet kind of a hue on the skin. And it was pretty dark. And now it happened due to a cream. So
You have to be
you have
careful.
to be very careful. Now you're okay with using C and niacinamide and AHA and kojic. That's okay.
Yeah.
Alpha butene is okay, but not hydroquinone. Not a very strong retinol that you have to ask. Like I said, tretinoin. A lot of times I've seen people talk about, oh hey, I'm using this retin-A and I'm using tretin and it's great. It's not great. It's great for them, not for you. Every skin is unique and different, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah. Apart from that, it's also very important to supplement yourself when you have hyperpigmentation. So take antioxidants, take vitamin C, take glutathione 500 milligrams. You can take polypodium leucotomus, which is an oral sunscreen. Now, it's not a replacement for a sunscreen, but if you have a lot of outdoor activity, then you take a polypodium leucotomus and you apply a sunscreen. So these supplements will really help, along with the creams that you use in reducing the hyperpigmentation.
So, say I'm a woman in my 30s or 40s, I have hyperpigmentation and I don't know how to deal with it. What is a Tell me three products that you would recommend.
Names of products, you said.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And they could use any one, but maybe if you could mention two or three.
So I like the beauty of just on rice water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good ingredient to use if you have hyperpigmentation. A vitamin C serum by any, like a Ordinary or a Paula's Choice, or one of my favorite ones like a True Derma vitamin C, or like a La Roche Posay vitamin C. My favorite is Obagi. I really love Obagi. So any of those vitamin Cs or the other ones, that's number two. And then the alpha butene. So the ordinary alpha butene is very good. You can use that. Now, how do you use all these serums? You know, so first you cleanse your face, and then you apply a serum. It's always serum for first, then a moisturizer, then a sunscreen if you're using it in the day. the lightest ingredient first. Do not overdo it. Just take about 4 to 5 drops, dab it on the entire face, and then pat it on your face. That's the best way to use a serum. Don't forget your neck. It's not like I'm going to apply 10 drops and I'm going to apply so much that's going to work more and I'm going to get a better result. It's never like that. Just 4 or 5 drops, more than enough.
So you spoke about rice water, vitamin C, and
Alpha butane.
alpha butane. What is the order to use these three
Oh, I will never say use all of them together.
together? So use any one at
Use
any
any
given
one.
point of time.
So you could do C today, alpha butane tomorrow, and then you could do the other one,
Lovely.
like,
Okay, and they would always
niacinamide.
go first.
Yes, they will always go
All
first.
three of them will go first, then comes
Yes.
your moisturizer, then comes your sunscreen.
Now, if you have a lot of hyperpigmentation,
Hmm.
you can also do one in the morning, one at night. So if you're doing rice water in the morning, you can do alpha butane at night.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay. Dr. Jaishree, what is your favorite skincare trend?
by far it is skin cycling. You know, so a lot of trends come and go, and I'm like, what is this? But this is one trend that stays. This is something that we as dermatologists have been doing forever.
Okay.
And what is it? It means not layering your skin, because Indian skin cannot take so many ingredients at one go,
Unlike Korean skin.
unlike Korean skin. you know our climate is different, our skin type is different, we have thicker skin, we have more oil glands, our diet is different, everything is different. So you can't layer your skin with 10 things. So you cycle it to get the best of it. Now, how do you cycle it? If you're using retinol today, you use alpha hydroxy acid tomorrow. Then you give the skin a little break by using a hyaluronic acid or a ceramide. Then again go back to a retinol. Then go back to maybe a vitamin C. So cycling the thing.
And cycling your
So
serums, right? What I'm hearing you
they're
talk
all
about. But your
serums.
moisturizer could be the same.
The moisturizer can be the same, your sunscreen can be the same.
But
You know,
skin
cycle
cycling
your
the serums.
actives. Your serums have very highly concentrated ingredients in them. So if you have a moisturizer which has vitamin C vis-a-vis a serum which has vitamin C, the serum is going to be more potent because the concentration is very high. And so if you apply too much, there may be irritation, and maybe one ingredient is not getting absorbed at all.
Hmm.
And that is why cycling. One, for better absorption and efficacy. Two, to prevent any kind of irritation on the skin.
And what is your most hated skincare trend? A trend that you can't stand? There
You
are
know,
so many on the internet that
yeah,
I
there
feel
there are,
like.
there are so many. I do not like the process of over exfoliation. I see people exfoliating almost every single day,
Hmm.
and especially the youngsters. Now, our skin has a normal mechanism of exfoliation. So, every 28 days, your lower cells of the epidermis reach the surface and they are shed. If you take a microscope and look at my skin now or look at your skin, you will find dead skin, which is exfoliating. And that continues till about 25. It's a natural process, and then it slows down. That is when you need to exfoliate. You need to remove a little dead skin. But don't be vigorous and don't keep doing it that often. So if you have, say, normal skin or oily skin, you can do it once a week. If you have dry skin, you can do it once a fortnight. If you have sensitive skin, maybe you should not exfoliate. You know, so that is how. And if you have maybe oily, very acne-prone skin, twice a week. But that's about it. And after exfoliation, make sure you use a moisturizer because you've removed some cells. Your deeper layers need protection, right? Now, if you're going to exfoliate every day, I see some scrubs, with those beads and seeds, and you're using them. Or, even chemo exfoliation for that matter, which is AHA, BHA. If you do that every day, you are at some point going to take off all the dead skin and then reach the protective barrier layer of the skin. And then your skin barrier gets compromised. And then you develop rashes, your skin gets sensitive, it gets red, it's itchy, you develop eczemas, you can get acne, all of that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. If someone really wants to splurge, what is your favorite, most expensive skincare?
The anti-aging range.
Okay.
Yeah,
From which brand?
I love Zeo. Yeah,
And is that in the splurge category?
yes, it is. There is a there's an AOX illuminating serum that I love, and there is a firming serum that I love, and they work. You know, their ingredients are so active and powerful. And I have to say this: you can invest in a very cheap moisturizer and sunscreen. So moisturizers can be like very cheap and you can even use oil. Sunscreen should be a pharmaceutical brand.
Okay.
So you know that the SPF is good. Your serums need not be pharmaceutical. They can be cosmetic
Cosmetic.
or pharmaceutical, but they have to be time tested. It has to be a good brand. And if you want to spend, you spend on a serum, because you know that a lot of research goes behind and the raw materials are difficult. I'm not saying there are frills, the packaging, marketing, this, that, the other, but a reputed brand and something which is time tested, because you need the active concentration of that ingredient that you're using. So spend in that.
What is the most common skincare mistake that you see everyone making?
I think layering the skin has
A
become a
bit too
common
much.
thing now, especially in the youngsters.
Yes.
Um, in the in my generation, maybe I would say they do not remove their makeup.
But that's so true. I see that a lot
You
in the
know,
older generation.
yes,
Yes.
that's why. I mean, I don't want to call myself old, but I'm 50 plus, and I will say my generation. Yes, the older generation. I don't know what it is. You just get tired. You don't want to remove your makeup. You sometimes don't even wash your face, and you go to bed. But you our pillow covers are you may change them every day, but there will still be some mite in there which is
Yes,
going to crawl onto your
absolutely.
skin. So
Absolutely.
and then with that makeup or with that cream or whatever, throughout the day you've had dust and oil and grime, and you're in the kitchen or you're outdoors or whatever, the pollution and particulate matter and all sitting on your face. It's so important to cleanse your face, remove your makeup, and then go to bed.
So, in so many interviews, when I'm asked what is the most important skincare ritual for me or my favorite product, and I say for me, it's my cleansing routine.
Yeah.
It's not the application. For me, actually, it's the dissolving of all of it. Right? Especially because I have so much makeup that becomes a part of my job. I feel like that double cleansing really has kept my skin feeling very sane. And I make sure I use an oil based cleanser again. So it gets that extra moisture as well when I'm stripping it all off.
Yeah,
So
your skin is really lovely. You've got
thank
good
you.
skin.
Thank you.
But it's very important. I mean, that step that you're following, uh, and doing it right by using something which is oil based. And luckily, you don't have acne, so um, you can get away with it. But if you have acne prone skin and you use an oil based cleanser,
Yes, that's
uh,
what.
then you will have to top it with a regular cleanser. So you have to do it the
Okay.
other way around.
Okay.
So in your
Interesting.
case, you're
Yeah.
using one regular cleanser, maybe a regular whatever, and then you're a foam based cleanser, and then you're doing an oil based, right, to
No, I'm
keep it
doing an oil
moisturized.
base first.
Okay,
To get my makeup off, I'm using an oil based makeup remover. And then I'm following that up with a foam based cleanser.
okay, so then that's fine.
Thank you, Dr. Jaishree. Thank you so much. I have learned so much in this episode. There's so much that I'm taking back with me. I've taken the notes. There's definitely some changes that I'm making in my skincare routine. So,
Wow, I'm glad.
yeah, I'm going to ask you about that for sure. But thank you so much for being here with me today and really appreciate you taking out the time and being here in Dubai with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank
such
you
a
for being
pleasure.
here.
Such a
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching or listening all the way through. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. It helps this show reach more incredible people like you, and most importantly, get closer to our goal to build an incredible community with the Masoom Minawala show. My goals with this show are audacious, and you all are the most important part of this journey. I want to create for you. So tell me what you want to hear. What stories could change your life? I read every single comment, and your reflections honestly help us shape where this show goes next. I'll see you in the next one.